My name is Marcus Webb, and I'm about to tell you something that will haunt me for the rest of my life. I'm a long-distance truck driver. For 12 years, I've been hauling freight across America, spending weeks away from home, believing I was doing the right thing for my family, building a better future, providing for the people I loved most in this world. My wife Vanessa and our son Tyler live in a quiet neighborhood just outside Memphis, Tennessee, or at least they used to live together. If you're reading this, I need you to understand something. What I'm about to share isn't just another story. It's a warning. It's proof that evil can hide in plain sight, wearing the face of someone you trust completely, someone you share your bed with, someone you built a life with. The day I installed that hidden camera in my son's bedroom was the day everything changed. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to where it all started, to the moment I first noticed something was terribly wrong. It was late September, and I'd just finished a 3-week haul that took me from Tennessee all the way to Oregon and back. 3 weeks is a long time to be away from your kid, especially when he's only 8 years old. But Tyler had always been tough about it. Whenever I'd call home, he'd tell me about school, about the bugs he found in the backyard, about the new tricks he taught our dog. He was my little champion, you know, full of life and energy. That's why it hit me so hard when I came home and he wasn't the same kid anymore. The front door opened, and instead of Tyler rushing to hug me like he always did, I heard nothing. The house felt different, heavy somehow, like the air itself was holding its breath. "Tyler?" I called out, setting my duffel bag down in the hallway. Vanessa appeared from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a dish towel. She smiled at me. That same smile I'd known for 10 years of marriage. "Welcome home, honey. How was the drive?" "Long," I said, looking past her toward the stairs. "Where's Tyler?" "In his room. He's been a little quiet lately, probably just tired from school." Something about the way she said it made my stomach twist. Quiet wasn't a word anyone ever used to describe my son. I climbed the stairs and knocked gently on Tyler's door. "Hey, buddy, Dad's home." A pause. Then a soft voice. "Come in." When I opened that door, I felt my heart drop. Tyler was sitting on his bed, hunched over a coloring book, but he wasn't coloring. He was just staring at the blank page with this empty expression I'd never seen before. The kid who used to tackle me the second I walked through the door couldn't even look up at me. "Tyler?" I walked over and sat on the edge of his bed. "You okay, son?" He finally looked up, and that's when I saw them. Dark circles under his eyes. Deep, purple shadows that belonged on a grown man who hadn't slept in days, not on an 8-year-old boy. "I'm okay, Dad," he whispered. But his eyes told a completely different story. I reached out to ruffle his hair the way I always did, and he flinched. It was barely noticeable, just a tiny jerk of his head, but I saw it. My son had flinched when I tried to touch him. "Hey," I said softly, pulling my hand back. "What's wrong? Did something happen while I was gone?" He shook his head quickly. "Too quickly. No, nothing happened." "Tyler, you can tell me anything. You know that, right?" For a second, I thought he was going to open up. His mouth opened slightly, and I saw his bottom lip tremble. But then Vanessa's voice called from downstairs. "Dinner's ready." Tyler's whole body went stiff. He looked toward the door with an expression I can only describe as fear, then back at me. "We should go eat, Dad." During dinner, I watched him like a hawk. Every movement, every glance, every time he picked up his fork. He barely ate, just pushed the food around his plate while Vanessa chatted about the neighbors and some sale at the grocery store. She seemed perfectly normal, cheerful even. But Tyler looked like he was sitting at a table with a stranger. "So how's school going, buddy?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Mrs. Henderson still giving you those math puzzles you like?" Tyler glanced at Vanessa before answering. "School's fine." "Just fine? What about that science project you were telling me about on the phone?" Another quick look at his mother. "I finished it. Did you get a good grade?" "I don't remember." My son, who used to tell me every single detail about his day, couldn't remember his science project grade. Vanessa reached over and patted Tyler's hand. "He's just being modest. He got an A, didn't you, sweetie?" Tyler nodded without looking at either of us. That night, after Tyler went to bed, I confronted Vanessa in our bedroom. "Something's wrong with him," I said, closing the door behind me. "He's not himself." She was already in her nightgown, pulling back the covers. "Marcus, he's 8 years old. Kids go through phases. Mood swings are normal. Those dark circles aren't normal. He looks like he hasn't slept properly in weeks. He's been having some bad dreams, she said, climbing into bed. Nothing serious. He wakes up sometimes, and I go check on him. That's all. Why didn't you tell me this was happening? She shrugged, picking up her phone. I didn't want to worry you while you were driving. You have enough stress on the road without adding this to it. I stood there, staring at my wife of 10 years, and felt this nagging doubt I couldn't shake. Vanessa, did something happen while I was gone? Did you guys have a fight or something? She looked up at me with those innocent eyes. Of course not. Marcus, you're reading too much into this. Tyler's fine. He probably just missed you. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her so badly. But that night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Tyler's face, those hollow eyes, the way he flinched when I reached for him. Around 2 in the morning, I gave up trying to sleep and got up to get some water. That's when I noticed Vanessa wasn't in bed. I walked quietly down the hallway, my bare feet silent on the carpet. The bathroom light was off. The kitchen was dark. But Tyler's bedroom door was slightly open, and I could see a faint glow coming from inside. I crept closer and peeked through the crack. Vanessa was standing next to Tyler's bed, looking down at him, just standing there in the darkness, watching our son sleep. There was something about her posture, the way she was so still, that made my skin crawl. I must have made a sound because she suddenly turned around. For a split second before she saw me, her face looked different, cold, hard. But the moment she realized I was there, she smiled. Marcus, you scared me, she whispered, stepping into the hallway and closing Tyler's door behind her. What are you doing up? I could ask you the same thing. I told you, Tyler's been having nightmares. I was just checking on him. For how long? How long were you standing there? She frowned at me. I don't know. A few minutes? Marcus, why are you acting so strange? I didn't have an answer. Not one that wouldn't sound crazy anyway. We went back to bed, but I didn't sleep. I lay there in the dark, listening to Vanessa's breathing, and felt like I was sleeping next to a stranger. The next morning, I decided to spend the whole day with Tyler. I took him to the park, bought him ice cream, tried to get him to open up. He seemed a little better away from the house, a little more like his old self. We threw a football around, and I actually heard him laugh a couple times. But as we drove back home, I watched his face in the rearview mirror. The closer we got to our street, the quieter he became. By the time we pulled into the driveway, that hollow look was back in his eyes. Tyler, I said, turning around in my seat. Before we go inside, I need you to tell me something, and I need you to be honest with me, okay? He nodded slowly. Are you scared of something or someone? His eyes went wide. For a moment, I thought he was going to tell me everything. His mouth opened, and I saw tears starting to form. But then the front door opened, and Vanessa stepped out onto the porch. There you are, she called out cheerfully. I was starting to worry. Dinner's almost ready. Tyler's whole body tensed. He looked at me with those desperate eyes, and I saw him mouth 2 words. Help me. Then he climbed out of the car and walked into the house like a prisoner, heading back to his cell. That night, I pretended to fall asleep early. Vanessa kissed my forehead and told me she'd be up in a bit. I heard her go downstairs, heard the TV turn on in the living room. I waited. Around 11 o'clock, I heard her coming back upstairs. But instead of coming to our bedroom, her footsteps stopped at Tyler's door. I got up as quietly as I could and crept to our doorway. From there, I had a view straight down the hall to Tyler's room. The door was open just a crack, and I could hear Vanessa's voice. Low, firm, threatening. I told you not to spend so much time with your father today. You know the rules, Tyler. I couldn't hear Tyler's response. Don't cry, Vanessa hissed. You know what happens when you cry. My blood ran cold. I wanted to rush down there. I wanted to burst through that door and demand to know what the hell was going on. But something stopped me. Some instinct that told me I needed to be smart about this. I needed proof. The next morning, I told Vanessa I had to run some errands. Instead, I drove to an electronics store downtown. The kid working there couldn't have been more than 20. He had a name tag that said Josh and asked how he could help me. I need a hidden camera, I said. Something small, something I can monitor from my phone. He showed me several options, explaining the features of each one. I settled on a tiny camera that looked like a USB charger. You could plug it into a wall outlet, and no one would ever suspect it was recording everything. Is this for home security? Josh asked as he rang me up. I swallowed hard. Yeah, something like that. When I got home, Vanessa was at the grocery store and Tyler was at school. I had the house to myself for about an hour. I went into Tyler's room and looked around, trying to figure out the best place to put the camera. It needed to capture the whole room, especially the bed, but it couldn't be obvious. Finally, I spotted an outlet next to Tyler's bookshelf. It was perfect. The camera would have a clear view of the entire room, and it looked exactly like a regular phone charger. My hands were shaking as I plugged it in and synced it to my phone. I tested it a few times, watching the live feed on my screen. Crystal clear video, perfect audio. I could see every detail of Tyler's room. I felt sick doing this, like I was invading my own family's privacy. But I thought about Tyler's face, about that desperate help me he'd mouthed in the car, and I knew I had to do it. That night at dinner, I announced I had another haul coming up. "When do you leave?" Vanessa asked, cutting into her chicken. "Day after tomorrow. It's a long one. 2 weeks, maybe more." Tyler's fork clattered onto his plate. He stared down at his food, and I saw his shoulders slump. 2 weeks is a long time, Vanessa said. She was smiling, but there was something in her eyes. Something that made me want to grab Tyler and run. After dinner, I went to tuck Tyler in. Vanessa was in the shower, so we had a few minutes alone. "Tyler," I whispered, sitting on the edge of his bed. "I need you to know something. No matter what happens, no matter what anyone tells you, Dad loves you more than anything in this world. Okay?" He grabbed my hand so tightly I could feel his little fingers digging into my skin. "Don't go, Dad. Please don't go." "I have to, buddy, but I'll be back before you know it." Tears started rolling down his cheeks. "Something bad happens when you leave." "What do you mean? What happens, Tyler? You can tell me." He opened his mouth, but then we heard the bathroom door open. Vanessa's footsteps in the hallway. Tyler's face went pale. He yanked his hand away from mine and quickly wiped his tears. "I'm tired, Dad," he said loudly enough for Vanessa to hear. "Can I go to sleep now?" I kissed his forehead, my heart breaking. "I love you too, Dad." Vanessa appeared in the doorway, her hair wet from the shower. "All tucked in?" "Yeah," I said, standing up. "He's ready for bed." That night, I lay awake for hours. Around midnight, I felt Vanessa slip out of bed. I cracked one eye open just enough to see her silhouette moving toward the door. I grabbed my phone from the nightstand and opened the camera app with trembling fingers. The screen lit up, showing Tyler's room in night vision. He was lying in bed, wide awake, staring at the ceiling. He looked terrified. Then the door opened, and Vanessa walked in. I watched on my phone screen as my wife closed the door quietly behind her. Tyler immediately pulled his blanket up to his chin, his whole body going rigid. "Mom," he whispered, "please. I was good today. I was really good." What Vanessa said next made my blood turn to ICE. "It doesn't matter if you were good or bad, Tyler. You need to learn. You need to understand discipline." I watched her reach into the pocket of her bathrobe and pull out something that made me want to scream. A roll of duct tape. My 8-year-old son started crying, quiet. Desperate sobs as he pressed himself against the headboard, trying to make himself as small as possible. "Please, Mom. Please don't. I'll be better. I promise I'll be better." Vanessa moved toward the bed, and I saw an expression on her face I had never seen before. It was cold, cruel, like she was looking at an insect instead of her own child. "Shh," she said, putting a finger to her lips. "You know we can't wake Daddy? You know what happens if you make too much noise." Then she tore off a piece of tape and pressed it over my son's mouth. Tyler's scream was muffled by the tape. His eyes went wide with terror as tears streamed down his face. I was sitting up in bed now, my hand over my own mouth to keep from crying out. Every fiber of my being wanted to rush down that hallway and stop this. But I forced myself to keep watching. I needed to see it all. I needed proof that would make sure Tyler never had to go through this again. Vanessa pulled something else from her pocket, a wooden spoon, the same one she used to cook dinner with. "This is for your own good," she said in that icy voice. "One day, you'll thank me for teaching you to be strong." What happened next was the hardest thing I've ever had to witness in my entire life. She started hitting him. Not light taps. Not warnings. Hard, brutal strikes across his arms, his legs, his back. Tyler's small body jerked with each hit, but he couldn't scream. He couldn't cry out. All he could do was sob silently while his mother beat him. I sat there in my bed, tears pouring down my face, watching my wife torture our son. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. But I didn't. I kept recording. After what felt like an eternity, she stopped. Tyler was curled up in a ball, his whole body trembling with silent sobs. His pajama shirt was twisted, and I could see red marks starting to form on his skin. Vanessa leaned down close to his face. "Remember our agreement, Tyler. If you ever tell your father about our special time together, it will get much worse. Do you understand?" Tyler nodded frantically, his eyes squeezed shut. "Good boy." She ripped the tape off his mouth, making him wince in pain. "Now stop crying and go to sleep, and don't make a single sound." She left the room as if she'd just tucked him in for the night. As if she hadn't just destroyed our son's world. I heard her footsteps in the hallway, heard our bedroom door open, quickly locked my phone and pretended to be asleep as she climbed back into bed beside me. The same bed we'd shared for 10 years. The same woman I'd promised to love and cherish. The same person I'd trusted with our child's life. She was a monster, and I had been leaving Tyler alone with her for years. That realization hit me like a freight train. How long had this been going on? How many nights had I been on the road while my son was being tortured in his own bedroom? How many times had Tyler tried to tell me, and I'd been too blind to see it? I lay there in the dark, listening to Vanessa's breathing, and I swore on everything I loved that this would be the last time she ever heard our son. Tomorrow, everything was going to change because I had the proof now, and I was going to make damn sure she paid for what she'd done. I didn't sleep for the rest of that night. I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Tyler's terrified face. I saw that tape over his mouth. I heard those muffled screams that will haunt me until the day I die. Vanessa slept peacefully beside me, like she hadn't just spent 20 minutes beating our 8-year-old son. She even smiled in her sleep at one point, and I had to get up and go to the bathroom because I thought I was going to be sick. I stood in front of the mirror, gripping the sink so hard my knuckles turned white. The man staring back at me looked 10 years older than he had yesterday. His eyes were bloodshot. His face was pale. He looked broken. "Get it together," I whispered to myself. "Tyler needs you to be strong right now." I splashed cold water on my face and went back to check the camera feed one more time. Tyler was still awake. I could see him in the darkness, curled up in his bed, clutching that old teddy bear I'd given him for his 5th birthday. The bear's arm was ripped, stuffing coming out. I wondered how many nights Tyler had held onto that bear while his mother hurt him. He was so small, so vulnerable. And I had failed him, but not anymore. I spent the rest of that night planning. I couldn't just grab Tyler and run. Vanessa was still his legal mother. If I took him without proper evidence and legal backing, she could claim I kidnapped our own son. I needed to be smart about this. First thing in the morning, I made copies of the video. I uploaded it to 3 different cloud storage accounts. I saved it on 2 different flash drives. I even emailed it to myself. That evidence could not disappear. When Vanessa got up around 7, I was already in the kitchen making breakfast. Acting normal was the hardest thing I'd ever done. "You're up early," she said, pouring herself coffee. She was wearing her blue robe, the same one she'd worn last night when she tortured our son. I wanted to RIP it off her and burn it. "Couldn't sleep," I said, flipping pancakes. "Thinking about the road trip." "When do you leave again?" "Tomorrow morning." I kept my voice steady. Casual. Early start. Tyler came down a few minutes later. He was wearing a long-sleeve shirt even though it was supposed to hit 85 degrees today. Hiding the marks, I realized. My poor kid had become an expert at hiding what was happening to him. "Morning, buddy," I said, setting a plate of pancakes in front of him. "How'd you sleep?" He glanced at Vanessa before answering.
"Fine, Dad."
I wanted to hug him. I wanted to tell him that I knew everything, that he was safe now, that Mommy was never going to hurt him again. But I couldn't. Not yet. After breakfast, Vanessa announced she had errands to run. "I'll be back around lunch," she said, grabbing her purse. "Tyler, you behave for Daddy, okay?" The second her car pulled out of the driveway, I knelt down in front of my son. "Tyler, listen to me very carefully. Dad knows what's been happening." His face went pale. "Dad, I didn't tell you. I swear I didn't tell you. Please don't let Mom know hey. I grabbed his shoulders gently. "You didn't do anything wrong. I found out on my own, okay? Mom doesn't know that I know." How did you find out?" I couldn't tell him about the camera. Not yet. That doesn't matter right now. What matters is that you're not safe here, and I'm going to fix that." Tears started rolling down his cheeks. She said nobody would believe me. She said if I told anyone, it would get worse. "I believe you, son, and I have proof of what she's doing. She's never going to hurt you again. I promise you that." He threw his arms around my neck and sobbed. Real, loud, painful sobs that he'd been holding back for God knows how long. I held him tight and let him cry, feeling like my heart was being RIP apart. "I was so scared, Dad." He whimpered against my shoulder. "Every night when you're gone, I'm so scared she's going to come into my room." "How long has this been happening, Tyler?" He pulled back, wiping his nose on his sleeve. "Since last year, when you started taking the longer trips. At first it was just yelling. Then she started taking away my toys if I did something wrong. Then," he trailed off, his bottom lip trembling. "Then she started hitting you." He nodded. "She said it was discipline. That I needed to learn to be tough like the other boys. She said you would be disappointed in me if you knew how weak I was." I felt rage like I'd never felt before. "Tyler, look at me. You are not weak. You are the strongest, bravest kid I know, and I could never be disappointed in you. Do you understand?" But I didn't stop her. I didn't fight back. "You're 8 years old. She's a grown adult. You did exactly what you needed to do to survive. That's not weakness, buddy. That's strength." We talked for another hour. He told me everything. How Vanessa would wait until she thought I was asleep before coming into his room. How she'd use duct tape to keep him quiet. How she'd hit him with whatever was nearby, wooden spoons, hairbrushes, belts. How she'd whisper terrible things to him while she did it, telling him he deserved it, that he was a bad kid, that this was what happened to children who didn't behave. The worst part? She'd been doing this for almost a year. A year of torturing our son while I was out on the road, thinking everything was fine. When I heard Vanessa's car pull into the driveway, Tyler immediately tensed up. "It's okay," I whispered. "Just act normal. Don't let her know we talked. Can you do that for me?" He nodded, quickly wiping his eyes. For the rest of the day, I played the role of oblivious husband. I chatted with Vanessa about normal things, the weather, the neighbors, my upcoming trip, all while planning my next move. That evening, after Tyler went to bed, I told Vanessa I needed to make a quick run to the store for some supplies for my trip. Instead, I drove to a quiet parking lot and made the most important phone call of my life. "Hello?" The voice on the other end was cautious. "Derek, it's Marcus. I need your help. It's about Tyler." Derek Thompson was Vanessa's younger brother. He was a good man, a father himself, and one of the few people I trusted completely. I just had to hope that blood wasn't thicker than doing what was right. "Marcus, what's wrong? Is Tyler okay?" I took a deep breath. "No, he's not okay, and I need you to do something for me that's going to be really hard." "What's going on?" "I need you to come to my house tomorrow morning at exactly 9 o'clock. I need you to pick up Tyler and take him to your place. Tell Vanessa that, I don't know, tell her you need his help with something. Anything. Just get him out of this house." "Marcus, you're scaring me. What happened?" "Derek, your sister has been abusing Tyler, physically, for almost a year." Silence. "That's not possible. Vanessa wouldn't. I have video proof," I said, my voice cracking. "I installed a hidden camera in Tyler's room because I noticed something was wrong. Last night, I watched her tape his mouth shut and beat him with a wooden spoon. I watched her threaten him to keep quiet. I watched my son suffer while his own mother tortured him." More silence. Then I heard Derek's breathing get heavy. "Oh my God," he whispered. "Oh my God, Marcus. I'm going to the police as soon as Tyler is safe with you. But I need him out of this house first. Can you help me?" Of course I'll help." "Jesus Christ, Marcus. My sister, I can't believe." "I know, I couldn't believe it either. But I saw it, Derek, and I need to protect my son. I'll be there at 9 tomorrow. I'll tell her I need Tyler's help setting up my new TV or something. I'll get him out." "Thank you," I said, feeling tears burning my eyes. "Thank you so much." When I got back home, Vanessa was watching TV in the living room. "Got everything you needed?" she asked. "Yeah," I lied. "All set for tomorrow." That night, I once again pretended to fall asleep early. And once again, around 11 o'clock, Vanessa slipped out of bed. I grabbed my phone and watched. She went into Tyler's room with that same cold expression. Tyler was already shaking under his covers. "Please, Mom, I heard him whisper through my phone's speaker. "I've been so good today. Please don't." "You talk too much with your father at breakfast," she said, pulling out the duct tape. "You know the rules, Tyler." I had to force myself to keep watching. I needed more evidence. Multiple instances. I needed to make sure that when I went to the police, there would be no doubt about what was happening. She ticked his mouth. She hit him. She threatened him. And I recorded every second of it. When she finally left his room, I waited until she was asleep beside me. Then I crept down the hallway to Tyler's room. He was still awake, crying silently into his pillow. "Tyler," I whispered, sitting on the edge of his bed. He jumped, then saw it was me and collapsed into my arms. "Shh. It's okay, buddy. Tomorrow, Uncle Derek is coming to pick you up. You're going to go stay with him for a while, okay? What about Mom?" "Don't worry about Mom. Dad's going to handle everything. You just need to go with Uncle Derek and be safe. Can you do that?" He nodded against my chest. "I love you so much, Tyler. More than anything in this world. I love you too, Dad." The next morning was the longest morning of my life. Derek showed up right at 9, just like he'd promised. Vanessa seemed a little surprised to see him. "Derek, what are you doing here?" "Hey sis," he said, and I could tell he was struggling to keep his voice normal. "I bought this huge new TV setup, and I need help putting it together. Thought maybe Tyler could give me a hand?" "I'll take him to lunch afterward. Bring him back this afternoon." Vanessa frowned. "Marcus is leaving for his trip today. Tyler should spend time with his dad before he goes." "I don't mind," I said quickly. "I've got some last-minute packing to do anyway. Let the kid have some fun with his uncle." She looked between us suspiciously. For a terrifying moment, I thought she was going to say no. "Fine," she finally said. "But have him back by 3. Derek left with Tyler, and I saw the relief on my son's face as they drove away. He was safe now, at least for the moment. Vanessa turned to me. "You're really okay with this? I thought you'd want to spend your last few hours with Tyler." "I'll see him when I get back," I said. "It's only a couple weeks." She smiled and kissed my cheek. "You're a good dad, Marcus." I felt sick. The second she went upstairs to take a shower, I grabbed my laptop and uploaded all the videos to another secure server. Then I sent Derek a quick text. "Got him?" His reply came immediately. "Yes. He's safe. I'm taking him to my house now. Don't let Vanessa know where you are. I'm going to the police this afternoon." "Understood." "Marcus, I watched some of the video you sent me. I can't believe my own sister. I'm so sorry. Just keep Tyler safe. That's all that matters now." I waited until Vanessa left to run errands before I made my move. She said she'd be gone for a couple hours, which gave me the perfect window. I drove straight to the Memphis Police Department and asked to speak with someone from the Child Protective Services Division. The officer who met with me was a woman named Detective Sarah Chen. She had kind eyes but a no-nonsense demeanor. "Mr. Webb, I understand you want to file a report regarding child abuse?" "Yes," I said, pulling out my phone. "Against my wife. She's been physically abusing our 8-year-old son for almost a year." I watched her face as she looked at the videos. Watched it go from professional concern to horror to barely contained rage. "Mr. Webb," she said when the first video finished, "I need you to know that what you've shown me constitutes severe child abuse. This is a criminal matter. Your wife will be arrested." "Good," I said. "That's exactly what needs to happen. Where is your son now?" "He's with his uncle. He's safe. I made sure he was out of the house before I came here." Smart thinking. She made some notes on her pad. "I'm going to need you to provide a full statement. We'll also need to interview your son, but we have specially trained counselors for that. And I'm going to file for an emergency protective order right now. Your wife will not be allowed anywhere near your son." We spent the next 3 hours going through everything. I gave my statement. I handed over copies of all the videos. I explained the timeline, the signs I'd missed, everything Tyler had told me. Detective Chen called Child Protective Services, who sent a caseworker to Derek's house to check on Tyler and do a preliminary interview. Around 4 o'clock, my phone started ringing. It was Vanessa. I let it go to voicemail. She called again, and again, and again. Finally, Detective Chen said, "You should probably answer that. Don't tell her where you are. Just find out what she wants." I picked up on the 5th call. "Marcus, where are you?" Vanessa's voice was frantic. "Derek was supposed to bring Tyler home at 3. He's not answering my calls. Where is our son?" "Tyler's fine," I said carefully. He's safe. What do you mean he's safe? Where is he? Marcus, what's going on? Tyler is with Derek, and he's going to stay with Derek for a while. What? You can't just Marcus, bring my son home right now. He's not coming home, Vanessa. There was a long pause. What did you do? I know what you've been doing to him. I know everything. I heard her sharp intake of breath. I don't know what Tyler told you, but Tyler didn't tell me anything. He was too scared to tell me, but I found out anyway. Marcus, whatever you think is happening, I have video. Vanessa, I installed a camera in his room. I watched you tape his mouth shut. I watched you beat him. I watched you threaten our 8-year-old son to keep quiet about the abuse. Silence. Complete and total silence. Then, in a voice I barely recognized, "Where are you?" "I'm at the police station, and you need to get yourself a lawyer because you're about to be arrested for child abuse," she screamed. Actually screamed into the phone. "You bastard! You're taking my son away from me. Tyler is mine. I'm his mother. You're a monster," I said, my voice shaking. "And you're never going to hurt him again." I hung up. Detective Chen looked at me with something like respect. "That took guts. That was the easy part," I said. "Now I have to figure out how to help my son heal from what she did to him." 2 hours later, Derek called me. "Marcus, Vanessa just showed up at my house. She's pounding on my door, screaming for Tyler." "What do I do?" "Do not open that door," I said. "Call the police right now. Tell them there's a woman violating an emergency protective order." "Already done. They're on their way." I heard Vanessa's voice in the background, shrieking, "Derek, Derek, let me see my son. You have no right to keep him from me." "Tyler can hear her," Derek said quietly. "He's terrified, Marcus. He's hiding in my daughter's room with his hands over his ears." My heart shattered. "Tell him Dad's coming. Tell him he's safe and Dad's coming to get him." I left the police station with a copy of the protective order and a promise from Detective Chen that officers were being dispatched to Derek's house immediately. When I got there 20 minutes later, 2 police cars were already in the driveway. Vanessa was in the back of one of them, screaming and pounding on the window. Our eyes met as I walked past. The hatred in her face was something I'll never forget. But there was something else there too, fear, because she knew it was over. She knew she'd been caught. Derek met me at the door. "Tyler's upstairs with my wife. He won't come down until Vanessa's gone." We watched as the police car drove away with my wife inside. "I can't believe my sister did this," Derek said, his voice hollow. "Our mom is going to be devastated." "Your sister made her choices," I said. "Now she has to face the consequences." I found Tyler in Derek's daughter's bedroom, curled up in the corner with a blanket over his head. Derek's wife, Karen, was sitting nearby, giving him space but staying close. "Tyler?" I called softly. "It's Dad. Mom's gone. She can't hurt you anymore." The blanket moved. Then Tyler's face appeared, his eyes red from crying. "Is she really gone?" "Yes, buddy. The police took her away, and she's not allowed to come near you anymore. The judge said so." He crawled out from under the blanket and ran to me. I picked him up even, though he was getting too big to carry, and held him while he cried. "You're safe now," I whispered into his hair. "I've got you. Dad's got you." That night, Tyler slept in the guest room at Derek's house. I stayed in a chair next to his bed, watching him sleep peacefully for the first time in God knows how long. Around midnight, Derek knocked softly on the door. "Marcus, you should see this." He handed me his phone. It was a news article. "Memphis woman arrested for child abuse after husband's hidden camera captures beating." It was already going viral. My phone started blowing up with messages. My family, friends, people from work. Everyone wanted to know if it was true, if Tyler was okay, what they could do to help. But there was one message that made my blood run cold. It was from Vanessa's mother. "How dare you put my daughter in jail? Tyler is a difficult child. He needed discipline. You're destroying our family over nothing." I showed it to Derek. "Don't respond to that," he said, his jaw tight. "My mother has always made excuses for Vanessa's behavior. She'll never accept what really happened. Does she know about the videos?" I sent them to her. She refused to watch them, said they were probably edited or taken out of context. I felt sick all over again. The system was broken. Even with video evidence, there were people who would defend Vanessa. Who would blame Tyler? Who would act like child abuse was just discipline gone too far? But I didn't care what those people thought. All that mattered was Tyler. and Tyler was finally safe. The first week after Vanessa's arrest was the hardest week of my life, and I'd thought watching those videos was hard. I'd thought confronting the police was hard. But watching my son try to process what had happened to him, watching him flinch every time a door opened, watching him wake up screaming from nightmares 3, 4, 5 times a night, that was a different kind of pain altogether. Derek and Karen let us stay with them while I figured out our next steps. I couldn't take Tyler back to our house. Not yet. Maybe not ever. That house held too many bad memories for him. Too many nights of terror. Too many moments of pain. On the third night, Tyler had the worst nightmare yet. I was sleeping on the floor next to his bed. I'd been doing that every night because he was too scared to sleep alone when I heard him start whimpering. Then the whimpering turned to crying. Then the crying turned to screaming. No, please. I'm sorry. I'll be good. Please don't. I was up in an instant, gathering him into my arms. Tyler, wake up, buddy. Wake up. You're safe. It's just a dream. His eyes flew open, wild with terror. For a second, he didn't recognize me. He tried to pull away, tried to fight me off. Tyler, it's Dad, son. You're safe. You're at Uncle Derek's house. Mom isn't here. Slowly, recognition came back to his eyes. He collapsed against my chest, sobbing so hard his whole body shook. She was in my room again, Dad. She had the tape and... Shh. I know, buddy. But it was just a dream. She can't hurt you anymore. I promise. Derek and Karen appeared in the doorway, looking worried. Karen had tears in her eyes. Is he okay? She whispered. Just a nightmare, I said, rocking Tyler gently. We're okay. But we weren't okay. Not by a long shot. The next morning, I made the call I'd been putting off. Child Protective Services had recommended a child psychologist who specialized in trauma. Her name was Dr. Patricia Morrison, and she had 20 years of experience working with abused children. Mr. Webb, she said when I called, I've been expecting to hear from you. CPS sent me Tyler's file. I have an opening tomorrow afternoon if you'd like to bring him in. Tomorrow would be great, I said. But I need you to understand something, Dr. Morrison. My son is terrified right now. He doesn't trust easily. And I need to know that you're going to help him, not make things worse. I understand your concern, she said gently. And I want you to know that everything we do will be at Tyler's pace. If he's not ready to talk, we won't push. If he needs you in the room, you'll be there. My job isn't to force healing. It's to create a safe space where healing can happen. Something about her voice made me feel a little better. Okay, we'll be there. That night, I sat Tyler down and told him about Dr. Morrison. I don't want to talk to a stranger, he said immediately, his face closing off. I know, buddy, but Dr. Morrison is really nice, and she helps kids who've been through scary things. Kids like you. Are there other kids whose moms hurt them? The question broke my heart. Yes, son, unfortunately there are. But Dr. Morrison helps them feel better, and I think she can help you too. Will you come with me? Every single time. I'm not going anywhere. Our first session with Dr. Morrison was rough. Tyler wouldn't talk. He sat in the chair next to me, staring at the floor, refusing to make eye contact with anyone. Dr. Morrison didn't push. She just talked about herself, about her office, about the toys and games she had. She told Tyler that this was his time, and he could use it however he wanted. After 45 minutes of silence, she smiled at him. Tyler, I'm really glad you came today. Even if you didn't feel like talking, just being here was really brave. I'll see you next week, okay? On the drive back to Derek's house, Tyler finally spoke. She seems nice. Yeah, I agreed. She does. Dad, do you think I'll ever stop being scared? I had to pull the car over because my vision got blurry with tears. Yes, buddy, I think with time and help, you'll feel safe again. It won't happen overnight, but I'll be with you every step of the way. He reached over and grabbed my hand. Promise? Meanwhile, the legal system was moving forward whether we were ready or not. Vanessa was charged with multiple counts of child abuse, child endangerment, and assault. Her bail was set at $50,000, which her mother apparently paid within hours. She was released with the condition that she couldn't come within 500 feet of Tyler or me. My lawyer, a sharp woman named Jennifer Rodriguez, called me the day after Vanessa made bail. Marcus, I need you to be very careful right now, she said. Vanessa's attorney is already building a defense. They're claiming you manipulated the videos, that you're an absent father who's trying to alienate Tyler from his mother, and that what she did was just old-fashioned discipline that got blown out of proportion. Are you kidding me? I felt my blood pressure spike. I have video evidence of her taping our son's mouth shut and beating him. I know, and we have a strong case. But her lawyer is going to try every trick in the book. They're going to paint you as the villain. They're going to call character witnesses who'll say Vanessa was a loving mother. They're going to try to make this about you, not about what she did to Tyler. So what do? We build our own case. We document everything. Tyler's therapy sessions, his nightmares, the physical evidence of abuse. We show the judge exactly what this has done to your son. And we make it impossible for them to claim this was anything other than deliberate, systematic abuse. Over the next few weeks, that's exactly what we did. Dr. Morrison provided detailed reports about Tyler's mental state. His pediatrician examined him and documented the scars, yes, scars on his back and arms. Some of them were old, proving this had been going on for a long time. I changed my entire life around. I quit my long-haul trucking job and took a position as a dispatcher for a local delivery company. The pay was less, but I'd be home every single night. Tyler needed stability. He needed to know I wasn't going to disappear for weeks at a time anymore. We moved into a small 2-bedroom apartment on the other side of town. I let Tyler pick out everything, the paint color for his room, his new bedding, even the furniture. I wanted him to feel like this was his space. A safe space. A space where no one would ever hurt him. The first night in our new apartment, I tucked him into his new bed, in his new room. "Dad," he said as I was turning off the light, "can you leave the hall light on?" "Of course, buddy. And can you leave my door open? Whatever makes you feel safe." "Dad?" He sat up in bed. "I'm really glad we don't live in the old house anymore. I hated that house." "Me too, son. Me too." By the second week of therapy, Tyler started opening up a little more. Dr. Morrison used play therapy, letting him act out scenarios with dolls and action figures. It was heartbreaking to watch. One session, I watched through the two-way mirror as Tyler took a mother doll and a child doll. He had the mother doll hit the child doll over and over while the child doll cried. "Why is the mommy hurting the little boy?" Dr. Morrison asked gently. "Because he was bad," Tyler said in this flat voice. "What did he do that was bad?" He talked too much. He left his backpack in the wrong place. He didn't finish his dinner." Tyler's voice started to crack. He breathed too loud. He existed. I had to leave the observation room. I couldn't watch anymore. Dr. Morrison found me in the waiting room afterward. "Mr. Webb, Tyler is carrying an enormous amount of guilt. He genuinely believes he deserved what happened to him. That's going to take time to undo." "How much time?" "There's no timeline for healing from trauma like this. Some children bounce back quickly. Others struggle for years. Tyler is resilient, but he's also been deeply wounded. We just have to be patient and consistent." Patience. That was something I was learning a lot about. Like the night Tyler asked me why his mom hated him so much. We were eating dinner spaghetti. His favorite one, he just put down his fork and asked the question that had apparently been eating at him. "Dad, what did I do to make mom hate me?" "Tyler, look at me." I put down my own fork. "Your mother doesn't hate you. Your mother is sick. There's something wrong in her brain that made her do those terrible things. But it has nothing to do with you. You didn't do anything wrong. You were a perfect kid. You are a perfect kid." But she said I needed to learn. She said I was bad and weak and disappointing. "Tyler, those are lies. Every single word she said to you was a lie. You are strong and good and brave. What you survived. Most adults couldn't handle that, but you did. You survived. I don't feel brave. I feel scared all the time." "Being scared doesn't mean you're not brave, buddy. Brave means doing things even when you're scared, and you're doing that every single day." He thought about that for a minute. Then he picked up his fork and went back to eating his spaghetti. Small victories, right? But not everything was small victories. One afternoon, I got a call from Tyler's school. He'd had a complete meltdown in class when his teacher raised her voice at another student. He'd hidden under his desk, crying and shaking, convinced he was going to be punished. I left work immediately and drove to the school. Found him in the nurse's office, still trembling. "I'm sorry, Dad," he whispered when he saw me. "I'm sorry I'm so messed up." "Hey, no." I knelt down in front of him. "You are not messed up. Your brain is still learning that you're safe now. It's going to take time, and that's okay. The school counselor recommended we get a 504 plan and place accommodations for Tyler's trauma. Things like allowing him to leave class if he felt overwhelmed, giving him extra time on tests if he was having a rough day, letting him sit near the door so he didn't feel trapped. It helped. Slowly but surely, things started to get a little better. The nightmares decreased from every night to 3 or 4 times a week. Tyler started smiling more. He even made a new friend. At school, a kid named Jake who liked comic books just as much as Tyler did. But then came the court hearing. Jennifer called me 2 months after Vanessa's arrest. We have a court date, 3 weeks from now. They're going to determine custody and whether Vanessa gets any visitation rights. Visitation rights? I felt sick.
You can't be serious.
I'm afraid I am. Her lawyer is pushing for supervised visitation. They're claiming that with therapy and anger management classes, she can rebuild her relationship with Tyler. Over my dead body. Marcus, I need you to prepare yourself. The judge might grant limited, supervised visits. It's rare for the court to completely terminate parental rights unless what? Unless she kills him? She was torturing him, Jennifer. I know, and we're going to fight this with everything we have. But you need to understand that the legal system moves slowly, and sometimes it doesn't give us the outcome we want right away. I had to tell Tyler about the court hearing, had to explain that there would be people asking him questions about what happened with his mom. His reaction was worse than I'd expected. I don't want to see her, he said, his eyes going wide with panic. Dad, please don't make me see her. Please. Buddy, you won't have to see her at court. They'll talk to you separately, in a room with just you and Dr. Morrison and a nice judge. Mom won't be there. But what if the judge says I have to go back to her? That is not going to happen. I promise you, Tyler, you are never going back to her. You can't promise that, he shouted, and it was the first time he'd raised his voice since this whole thing started. You don't know what the judge will say. What if they don't believe me? What if they think I'm lying? Tyler, you left me with her before. Tears were streaming down his face now. You left me alone with her for a whole year while she hurt me. What if you have to leave again? What if the judge makes you? That hit me like a punch to the gut. Tyler, I will never leave you alone with her again. Never. If I have to quit my job, if I have to sell everything I own, if I have to leave the country, I will keep you safe. Do you understand me? He threw his arms around me and sobbed. I'm so scared, Dad. I know, buddy. I know. The 3 weeks before the court date were the longest 3 weeks of my life. Tyler barely slept. His nightmares came back with a vengeance. He started having anxiety attacks at school again. Dr. Morrison worked with him intensively, preparing him for the questions he might be asked in court, teaching him coping mechanisms, reminding him over and over that telling the truth wasn't going to get him in trouble. The night before the hearing, Tyler couldn't sleep at all. I found him at 2 in the morning, sitting in his closet with the light on. Tyler? What are you doing in here? I feel safer in small spaces, he said quietly. When I'm in here, nobody can sneak up on me. I sat down on the floor next to him. Want some company? He nodded. So we sat in his closet together until the sun came up, not talking, just being together. My back was killing me by the time dawn broke, but I didn't care. If sitting in a closet made my son feel safe, I'd sit in that closet every night for the rest of my life. The courthouse was intimidating. Big stone building, lots of people in suits rushing around, metal detectors at the entrance. Tyler's hand was shaking in mine as we walked in. Jennifer met us in the hallway. Okay, here's what's going to happen. The judge will hear testimony from both sides. Then they'll talk to Tyler privately. Then they'll make a ruling. It could take a few hours. Is she here? I asked, looking around. Vanessa? Yes, she's in the other waiting room with her lawyer. Don't worry, you won't run into her. The bailiff made sure of that. We were escorted to a private room to wait. Tyler sat in a chair, bouncing his leg nervously. Derek and Karen showed up to support us. Even some of my coworkers came. When it was time for Tyler to meet with the judge, Dr. Morrison went with him. I wanted to go too, but Jennifer said it was better if Tyler talked to the judge without me in the room. Something about not influencing his testimony. Those 45 minutes while Tyler was in that room were the longest 45 minutes of my life. When he finally came out, he looked exhausted but relieved. How'd it go, buddy? The judge was nice. he said quietly. She had a really soft voice, and she had pictures of dogs in her office. I told her everything, Dad. I told her about the tape and the hitting and the things Mom said to me. Is that okay? You did perfect, son. I'm so proud of you. After that, we had to wait while the lawyers presented their cases. I wasn't allowed in the courtroom for that part either, so I sat in the hallway, practically vibrating with anxiety. Finally, after what felt like forever, Jennifer came out. The judge wants to see you and Vanessa both in chambers, separately. My turn came first. I walked into the judge's chambers, a surprisingly normal-looking office with law books and family photos, and sat down in the chair across from her desk. Judge Patricia Hernandez was in her 50s with silver hair and kind eyes that had probably seen way too much tragedy. Mr. Webb, she said, I've reviewed all the evidence in this case, the videos, the medical reports, the psychological evaluations. I've also spoken with your son at length. Your Honor, I just want to say, she held up her hand. Let me finish. What your wife did to Tyler constitutes severe child abuse. There is no question about that. The videos are damning. Tyler's testimony was consistent and credible. And Dr. Morrison's evaluation makes it clear that this child has been traumatized in ways that will affect him for years to come. I felt tears prick my eyes. So Tyler can stay with me? Mr. Webb, I'm granting you full custody, sole legal and physical custody. Vanessa will be allowed supervised visitation only if Tyler consents to it and only after she completes court-mandated therapy and parenting classes. Given the severity of this case, we'll take at minimum 2 years. 2 years? I could barely breathe. So Tyler doesn't have to see her? Not unless he wants to, and from what he told me today, he has no interest in seeing his mother. That may change as he gets older and heals. But for now, he's safe with you. I broke down right there in the judge's office. Just completely lost it. Thank you, I managed to choke out. Thank you so much, Your Honor. Mr. Webb. She stood up and walked around her desk, putting a hand on my shoulder. I've been a family court judge for 18 years. I've seen a lot of bad parents, but I've also seen some good ones. You're one of the good ones. You protected your son. You believed him. You acted quickly. Tyler is lucky to have you. When I walked out of that office, Tyler took one look at my face and knew. We won? He whispered. We won, buddy. You're staying with me. You don't have to see Mom unless you decide you want to, and that won't be for a very long time, he screamed. Actually screamed with joy and threw his arms around me. Derek and Karen were crying. Jennifer was smiling. Even the bailiff looked happy. I don't have to go back? Tyler asked, pulling away to look at my face. Ever? Never. You're safe now. For real this time. Dad, I want to go home. Can we go home? Yeah, son. Let's go home. That night, after the court ruling, Tyler slept through the entire night for the first time in months. No nightmares. No screaming. No waking up at 3 in the morning, thinking his mother was standing over his bed with duct tape. I checked on him 4 times during the night. Old habits die hard, and every time I peeked into his room, he was sleeping peacefully, curled up with that torn teddy bear, his face relaxed in a way I hadn't seen since before all this started. When he woke up the next morning, the first thing he said was, Dad, I didn't have any bad dreams. I know, buddy. I checked on you. You slept like a rock. He smiled. A real smile. Not the fake ones he'd been giving people for months, but a genuine, reaches her eyes, kid smile. Is it because I don't have to see Mom anymore? Probably, I said, sitting on the edge of his bed. Your brain knows you're safe now. Really, truly safe. He thought about that for a second. Dad, do you think I'll ever stop being scared of her? Honestly? I don't know, but I think with time and help, the scared feeling will get smaller. It might never go away completely, but it won't control your life anymore. Does that make sense? He nodded. Dr. Morrison said something like that too. She said fear is like a big monster at first, but the more you face it, the smaller it gets. Dr. Morrison is pretty smart. Yeah, he agreed. She's cool. Over the next few months, I watched my son slowly come back to life. It wasn't a straight path. There were still bad days. Days when something would trigger a memory and Tyler would shut down completely. Days when he'd refuse to go to school because he was convinced something terrible was going to happen. Days when he'd ask me 20 times if I was sure Mom couldn't come get him. But the good days started outnumbering the bad days. Tyler started laughing again. Real, belly laughs at stupid jokes and funny videos. He started playing outside without constantly looking over his shoulder. He made more friends at school. Jake introduced him to a whole group of kids who liked comic books and video games. One afternoon, about 4 months after the court ruling, Tyler came home from school absolutely buzzing with excitement. Dad, guess what? What's up, buddy? Jake invited me to his birthday party. It's a sleepover. Can I go, please? My first instinct was to say no. The thought of Tyler sleeping somewhere I couldn't protect him made my stomach twist. But I looked at his face, saw how excited he was, how normal this request was for an 8-year-old kid, and I knew I had to let him go. Of course you can go, I said. When is it? 2 weeks from Saturday. And Dad, we're gonna watch movies and play video games, and Jake's dad is gonna make homemade pizza. He talked about that party nonstop for 2 weeks. Helped me pick out a present for Jake. Packed and repacked his overnight bag 3 times. He was nervous, I could tell, but he was also excited. And excitement was beating out fear, which was huge progress. The night of the sleepover, I drove Tyler to Jake's house. Met his parents, who seemed like good people. Gave them my cell number and made them promise to call if Tyler had any problems. Dad, I'll be fine, Tyler said, rolling his eyes in that way that kids do when their parents are being embarrassing. I know, but humor your old man, okay? Jake's mom smiled. Mr. Webb, we'll take good care of him, and you're welcome to call and check in anytime. I must have called 3 times that night. Each time, Jake's mom patiently assured me that Tyler was having a great time, that he was laughing and playing and eating pizza like a normal kid. When I picked him up the next morning, he was practically floating. Dad, that was awesome. We stayed up until midnight, and we watched this really funny movie, and Jake's dad makes the best pizza I've ever had. Can I have another sleepover sometime? Yeah, buddy, absolutely. Driving home, I realized something. Tyler was healing, really healing. He was learning to be a kid again. Learning to trust that not all adults would hurt him. Learning that the world could be fun and safe and good. Dr. Morrison noticed the progress too. Marcus, I have to say, Tyler is doing remarkably well, she told me after one of his sessions. He's processing the trauma in healthy ways. He's building resilience. He's starting to understand that what happened wasn't his fault. This is excellent progress for someone who went through what he went through. So we're going to be okay? She smiled. I think you're going to be more than okay. Tyler has something that a lot of abused children don't have: a parent who believes him, protects him, and is committed to his healing. That makes all the difference. Meanwhile, Vanessa's criminal trial was moving forward. Her lawyer tried every trick in the book, claimed the videos were edited, claimed I had coached Tyler, claimed she was suffering from postpartum depression even though Tyler was 8 years old when the abuse happened. But the evidence was overwhelming. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours before coming back with a guilty verdict on all counts. Child abuse, child endangerment, assault, everything. At sentencing, the judge gave her 5 years in prison with mandatory counseling and anger management. When she got out, she'd be on probation for another 5 years, and the protective order would remain in place indefinitely. Your actions were calculated and cruel, Judge Hernandez said during sentencing. You systematically tortured your own child. You used fear and violence to control him. You silenced him with duct tape so no one would hear his cries for help. This court has no sympathy for you, Ms. Webb. I wasn't at the sentencing hearing. Jennifer went and filled me in afterward. Part of me wanted to be there to see Vanessa's face when she heard her sentence. But the bigger part of me just wanted to be done with her, to move forward with Tyler and never look back. That evening, I sat Tyler down and told him about the sentencing. Mom's going to prison for 5 years, I explained. And when she gets out, she still won't be allowed to contact you unless you say it's okay. 5 years? Tyler did the math in his head. I'll be 13 when she gets out. Yeah, buddy. Will she still want to hurt me then? I don't know what Mom will be like in 5 years. Maybe the counseling will help her. Maybe she'll realize what she did was wrong. Or maybe she'll still be the same person. But here's what I do know: she will never get the chance to hurt you again. I'll make sure of that. He was quiet for a minute. Dad, is it bad that I don't feel sad about her going to prison? No, son. It's not bad at all. After what she did to you, you're allowed to feel however you feel about her. I thought I would feel something, like she's still my mom, you know? But I just feel relieved. Is that weird? Not even a little bit. Relief is a completely normal reaction. It means you feel safe, he nodded. Yeah, I do feel safe, finally. As the months turned into a year, our new life became our normal life. I got promoted at work. Turned out being a dispatcher suited me way better than long-haul driving ever did. Better hours, better pay, and most importantly, I was home every single night for dinner with Tyler. Tyler continued therapy, though we reduced it to once every 2 weeks, then once a month. Dr. Morrison said he'd probably benefit from having her as a resource for years to come, especially as he hit major milestones like puberty and high school. Trauma has a way of resurfacing during times of change, she explained. But Tyler has the tools now to handle it, and he has you. We fell into routines. Saturday morning pancakes, Sunday afternoon bike rides, Wednesday night pizza, and movie night. Normal. Boring, beautiful routines that gave Tyler the stability he'd been missing for so long. His nightmares became rare, maybe once a month, and even those were less intense than before. He stopped flinching when people raised their voices. He stopped checking over his shoulder constantly. He stopped asking me 50 times a day if I was sure Mom couldn't come get him. One day, about 18 months after everything happened, I was cleaning out some boxes in the garage and found a drawing Tyler had made back when he was 6. Before the abuse started, it was a picture of our family stick figures of him, me, and Vanessa, all holding hands and smiling under a bright yellow sun. I stared at that drawing for a long time, thinking about the innocent kid who'd made it. The kid who'd loved his mom and trusted her completely. The kid who had no idea what was coming. I almost threw the drawing away, but then Tyler walked into the garage. "What's that?" he asked, looking at the paper in my hand. "Just an old drawing you made," I said. "Want me to throw it out?" He took it from me and studied it for a minute. "I remember making this. I was in kindergarten. Mrs. Parker had us draw our families." "Yeah. I used to love Mom," he said quietly. Before everything. "I know, buddy." "Do you think she ever loved me? Like, really loved me?" That was a question I'd been dreading. How do you tell your kid that you honestly don't know if their mother loved them? How do you explain that some people are broken in ways that make them incapable of love? "Tyler, I think Mom has problems that have nothing to do with you. I think something in her brain doesn't work right, and it made her hurt the person she should have protected. Whether she loved you or not, what she did was wrong, and you didn't deserve it." He stared at the drawing for another moment, then handed it back to me. "You can throw it away. I don't need it anymore." I threw it in the trash, and we walked back into the house together. That night, Tyler asked me something he'd never asked before. "Dad, do you think you'll ever get married again? Like, to someone who's not Mom?" The question caught me off guard. "I don't know, buddy." "Why do you ask?" "Because Jake's dad got remarried after his parents divorced, and his stepmom is really nice. And I was just thinking, it would be nice if you had someone, you know, so you're not lonely." My heart swelled. Here was my kid, who'd been through hell, worried about whether I was lonely. "Tyler, I'm not lonely. I have you, and that's enough for me. But what if I grow up and move away? Then you'll be all alone." "Well, that's still a long way off. And if I meet someone someday, someone who's kind and good and who treats both of us with respect, then maybe. But right now, my focus is on you and making sure you're happy and healthy." "I am happy, Dad," he said. "Like for real happy, not fake happy." "Yeah? I know I still have bad days sometimes. But most days are good now. And I don't think about Mom very much anymore. Is that okay?" "That's more than okay, son. That means you're healing." 2 years after the court ruling, Tyler turned 10 years old. We threw him a huge birthday party, invited his whole class, rented a bouncy house, had pizza and cake and all his favorite things. I watched him run around with his friends, laughing and playing and being a normal 10-year-old kid, and I felt this overwhelming sense of gratitude. We'd made it. We'd survived. That night, after all the guests had gone home and we were cleaning up the wrapping paper and party decorations, Tyler hugged me out of nowhere. "Thanks for the best birthday ever, Dad." "You're welcome, buddy." "And Dad, thanks for, for saving me." I knelt down to his level. "Tyler, you saved yourself by being brave enough to survive. I just gave you the tools to escape. You did the hard part." "We did it together," he said. "Like a team." "Yeah," I agreed, pulling him into a tight hug. "Like a team." Later that night, after Tyler went to bed, I sat on the couch thinking about everything we'd been through. The horror of discovering the abuse, the fear of whether Tyler would ever heal, the court battles, the nightmares, the therapy sessions, the slow, painful process of rebuilding our lives. And then I thought about where we were now. Tyler was thriving in school. He had friends. He had hobbies. He laughed every single day. The scared, hollow-eyed kid I'd found that September night was gone, replaced by a resilient, happy, healing boy who was learning to trust the world again. We still had challenges ahead. Tyler would carry these scars for the rest of his life. There would be moments, probably many moments, where the trauma would resurface. First relationships, becoming a parent himself someday, life transitions that might trigger old fears. But he had the tools now. He had people who loved him. He had a support system. And most importantly, he knew that he was worthy of love and protection. About 6 months ago, something happened that showed me just how far Tyler had come. We were at the grocery store, and we ran into one of Vanessa's old friends, a woman named Patricia, who used to come over for coffee sometimes. She recognized us and came over, clearly not knowing what had happened. "Marcus, Tyler, oh my goodness, I haven't seen you two in forever. How's Vanessa? Is she here?" I saw Tyler tense up next to me, but instead of shutting down like he would have done a year ago, he looked up at me, waiting to see how I'd handle it. "Vanessa and I aren't together anymore," I said simply, "and we need to get going." "Nice seeing you, Patricia." As we walked away, Tyler grabbed my hand. "Thanks for not telling her everything, Dad. That would have been really awkward." "No problem, buddy. You okay?" "Yeah," he said. Hearing her name used to make me feel like I was gonna throw up. But now it's just a name. She doesn't have power over me anymore. That moment right there, that was when I knew Tyler was going to be okay. More than okay. He was going to be strong. 2.5 years after I installed that camera in Tyler's bedroom, I want to share some things I've learned. Some lessons that cost me and my son dearly, but that might help someone else who's going through something similar. First, trust your instincts. I knew something was wrong with Tyler. I felt it, but I let Vanessa convince me it was just a phase. I let her explanations satisfy me when my gut was screaming that something was off. Don't make that mistake. If something feels wrong, investigate. Second, believe children. Tyler tried to tell me, not with words, but with his behavior, with those dark circles under his eyes, with the way he flinched when I reached for him, with that desperate, "Help me," he mouthed in the car. Children often can't articulate what's happening to them, especially when they've been threatened into silence. But they show you. Pay attention. Third, document everything. That camera saved Tyler's life. Without that video evidence, it would have been my word against Vanessa's. And in family court, that often means the abuser gets the benefit of the doubt. If you suspect abuse, document it. Video, photos, journal entries, medical records. Everything. Fourth, get professional help. I couldn't have navigated this without Dr. Morrison. Tyler needed someone outside our situation to help him process the trauma. Don't try to do this alone. There are people who specialize in helping children heal from abuse. Use them. And finally, never give up on your child's healing. There were days when I thought Tyler would never recover from what Vanessa did to him. Days when the nightmares were so bad I wondered if we'd ever have a normal life again. But we kept showing up, kept going to therapy, kept building trust, kept moving forward one day at a time. And it worked. Today, Tyler is a happy, healthy 12-year-old. He plays basketball. He's in the school band, plays the drums, which I'm pretty sure is his way of making sure I never forget he's home. He has sleepovers with his friends. He gets normal kid mad at me when I make him do his homework before playing video games. He's a regular kid with a not-so-regular past. Vanessa is still in prison. She's written a few letters asking to see Tyler. Each time, I sit down with him and let him decide whether he wants to read them. So far, he's chosen not to, and I respect that choice completely. Maybe when I'm older, he told me last time. Maybe when I'm an adult and I'm strong enough to handle it, but not now. Right now, I just want to be a kid. Smart kid, my son. Sometimes, late at night when Tyler's asleep, I think about what would have happened if I hadn't installed that camera. If I just kept ignoring the signs, kept believing Vanessa's excuses, kept leaving Tyler alone with his abuser. The thought makes me physically ill, but I did install that camera. I did discover the truth, and I did save my son. Not because I'm some kind of hero, not because I'm Father of the Year, but because I loved my kid enough to trust my instincts and ACT on them. That's what I want you to take away from this story. If you're a parent who travels for work, or works long hours, or is otherwise away from your children pay attention when you're home, notice changes in behavior. Notice fear in their eyes. Notice withdrawal and sadness and things that seem off. If you see a child who seems scared or hurt, say something, report it. Better to be wrong and embarrassed than to be right and silent while a child suffers. If you're a child going through abuse right now, please know this. IT is not your fault. You don't deserve it. You didn't cause it. And there are people who will believe you and help you. Keep telling people until someone listens. And if you're a survivor of child abuse, know that healing is possible. It's not easy. It's not fast. But it's possible. You can build a good life. You can learn to trust again. You can be happy. Tyler is living proof of that. As for me and Tyler, we're doing more than surviving. We're thriving. Last week, Tyler asked if we could get a dog. A big one that he could play fetch with in the backyard. A dog is a big responsibility, buddy, I said, though I was already picturing us at the animal shelter. I know, but I'm responsible now. And I think it would be cool to have a dog that could, protect us too. You know, bark if anyone tries to come in the house at night. He still needs that sense of security, that assurance that nothing bad can sneak up on him. And if a big dog gives him that peace of mind, then we're getting a big dog. Okay, I said. Let's go to the shelter this weekend and see who's there. His face lit up. Really? You mean it? Yeah, I mean it. Every kid should have a dog. Thanks, Dad. He hugged me tight. You're the best. Love you, buddy. Love you too, Dad. And that right there? Those simple, ordinary moments? That's what we fought for. The right to have normal conversations about getting a dog. The right to make Saturday morning pancakes without fear. The right to build a life based on love instead of terror. We won that right, and I'll protect it with everything I have for as long as I live. If my story resonates with you, if it made you think or feel or remember to pay attention to the children in your life, please like this and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from, what time it is there, and if this story touched you. If you've been through something similar, whether as a parent or as a child, know that you're not alone. There's a whole community of survivors and protectors out there. We believe you, and we're here for you. To the parents watching, trust your gut, pay attention, believe your kids. Act quickly when something's wrong. You might save a life. To the survivors, you are strong, you are worthy, and healing is possible. And to my son, who I know will watch this someday when he's older, Tyler, you are my hero. Your strength inspires me every single day. I'm so proud of the person you're becoming, and I promise you, for the rest of my life, you will always be safe, you will always be loved, and you will always have a father who believes in you. Thank you for listening to our story. This is Marcus Webb, signing off. Remember, love your kids, protect your kids, and never be afraid to trust your instincts when something feels wrong. The life you save might be your own child's.